911, what's your emergency?
Is this the sheriff's department? This is I live at road. I just found a damn body on my front porch. I don't know where the he's from. I don't understand what's going on, but there's a dead man on my front porch. My door's been kicked in. Both my dogs are still in the house. They're pretty worked up right now. I'm pretty worked up right now. I don't know this guy. I've never seen this guy in my life, but he's right here on my front porch. If you guys can get over here, I don't know what to do. I've never seen him. No, I've never seen the body before, but he's definitely dead. He's on my front. He's not breathing. He's definitely not breathing. I mean, there's blood everywhere. It's a mess. I mean, bro, he's chewed up. He's chewed up real bad. He's dead. No, sir, I'm not armed. Yes, the dogs are locked up. They can't get out of him, but they're locked up. I'm not armed. I didn't touch this guy. I came home. He was on my front porch. My door's kicked in. I didn't hurt this guy, but he is dead.
Have an update tonight on the two dogs credited with attacking an intruder in their home.
The story has made headlines around the country. Two dogs killing an intruder in their Coweta County home.
This is Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, aka BGK. Welcome back. Smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Make sure you hit that alert button so that you're notified every time we drop content, and that's going to be frequently because we came to drop bombs. Beast mode.
Hey, what up? So today, Dre BGK is here to hit you with a story time.
Hey, what's going on with my BGK YouTube family? It's Andre of Big Gemini Kennels, and I'm back at you with another crazy but true story time. Now today's story time is about an idiot, a convicted criminal that was on the run with multiple warrants that broke into the wrong house and paid the extreme price: death. Now let me set the scene for you. The call came straight into the Coweta County Sheriff's Office just after 10:30 a.m. in the morning. It was a man's voice filled with equal parts confusion and dread. A homeowner, clearly shaken, reported a mangled dead body lying on their property. A scene straight out of a nightmare. The caller was stammering in stress. The weight of the discovery thickened their words. Now, when the deputies arrived at the quiet house nestled in rural Newnan, Georgia, they had no idea what to expect. But what they found was a black man with dreads in the form of a mangled corpse sprawled on the front porch. What a grotesque mystery that will haunt even the most seasoned of the police officers. As investigators closed in on the scene, one thing became clear. The man lying there, unrecognizable and deaf, was no familiar face to the homeowner. His fate had been sealed the moment he had crossed onto that property. This is literally the definition of you chose the wrong house to break into. Now the truth behind the brutal mauling that had taken place was about to come to light, and it was far more primal and terrifying than anyone could have imagined. The dawn of September 24th in rural Newnan, Georgia was deceptively quiet. The kind of morning where the sun filters through the trees and the bird songs fill the air. Yet, under this idyllic calm, a chilling event was about to unfold. One that would shake the small community and send shockwaves through both law enforcement and social media. Alex Binyam Abraha, a 21-year-old fugitive with a laundry list of serious charges hanging over him, was quite desperate. He had multiple active warrants in Fulton County at this time, and the police were looking for him. He was a well-known criminal. Abraha had been running from the law for some time, and his name was etched into the wanted list across Georgia. His decision that fateful morning, however, would not only mark the end of his troubled life, but also spark a fierce debate on justice, both human and animals. Can animals commit a justified killing? Just past dawn, Mr. Abraha trespassed onto the secluded property on Walt Sanders Road. His mind no doubt was racing with thoughts of escape, of survival, and of trying to find something inside of the house of value. He chose this two-bedroom house, a quiet, unassuming place surrounded by fields and woodlands, likely thinking it was an easy mark. What he didn't know, that was within that home, there were two massive, vigilant dogs, to be more specific, two huge pit bulls trained by their very nature to protect their territory. The moment that Mr. Abraha crossed that threshold, everything changed. Now, according to investigators, Mr. Abraha managed to breach the home's entryway, a forced violent action that undoubtedly alerted the two dogs to the threat. When he kicked in the front door, it alerted the dogs. Now, these weren't just any dogs. They were the embodiment of primal guardianship, protectors of their home and of their master. In a matter of seconds, these dogs, with instincts honed over millennia, responded to the intrusion with a serious violent attack. Now, the ensuing moments were nothing short of savage, a terrifying spectacle of survival. The man who entered that home was not prepared for what awaited him. The dogs worked together and lunged, tearing him with a fury reserved only for those who dared threaten the sanctity of their home. In a violent struggle, claws and teeth sank into flesh, and the intruder's cries were swallowed by the relentless onslaught of the growls and barking of the loyal canines. There was no escape, make no doubt about it. These dogs worked over the criminal intruder with skilled violence that only a pair of pit bulls could bring. Now, the homeowner said normally these were peaceful, loving dogs, and even multiple neighbors also said the same thing. These dogs were very loving and very peaceful. But in this moment, these dogs were violent beasts. After the dogs finished mangling the intruder, they decided to drag the body out of the house and back onto the front porch and leave it there. I guess they felt like they were taking the trash out. The dogs then went back inside the house and remained inside the house until the homeowner returned, although the front door was still open from being kicked in. Now, by the time that the homeowner, oblivious to the grisly scene outside, discovered the body, it was too late for Mr. Abraha. His mangled corpse lay lifeless on the front porch, a grotesque testament to the fatal mistake that he had made. Blood pooled all around him. His face was contorted in a final expression of shock and fear. Abraha had not died in a gunfight or in a cell. He had been defeated by two animals that in this instance were the only justice he would ever meet. The homeowner called the police in the most confused manner, explaining to them that the dead and mangled corpse of a young African-American male was on his front porch and that his front door had been kicked in. He explained to the police that he had no idea who this man was and that his dogs, two black and white large pit bulls, were still inside of his home. Now, law enforcement arrived shortly after the 10:30 a.m. call that morning. The Coweta County Sheriff's Office investigators from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation descended on the scene, not knowing what to expect. What they found, however, was very clear-cut. Mr. Abraha had been mauled to death. There were no signs of foul play. There was no indication that the homeowner had even lifted a finger against the intruder. He had done nothing wrong. It was an act of nature, pure and simple. An intruder meeting his end at the hands of the home's vigilant guardians, the two pit bulls. Now, in my personal opinion, whoever breaks into somebody's home deserves whatever they get. Whether they get shot, whether they get bit by pit bulls, whether they get their head cut off. I don't personally care. Once you make that choice to break into somebody else's property on a criminal mission, whatever you get is exactly what you deserve. The investigation concluded swiftly. The ruling was clear. This was no homicide. Now, the man may have died, but it was not by human hands. The case was closed, at least in a legal sense, but the fate of the dogs that had acted only in defense of their home remained uncertain. And to me, that's not right. The two dogs were seized by authorities and had been put into a county animal facility with their futures hanging in the balance. Now the question burns. Will they be punished for doing exactly what they were supposed to do? Protecting their home, guarding themselves when an intruder kicks in their front door with bad intentions? On social media, the public opinion has exploded, with many pleading for their return, calling them heroes.
And since our story aired last night, Coweta County Animal Control and the Sheriff's Office has been flooded with phone calls and emails from people worried about the welfare of the dogs.
Give that dog a steak. Give that dog some McDonald's, because they did not act out of malice, but out of a deeply ingrained instinct to protect. And that's what we have our dogs for, to protect our loved ones, to protect our belongings, to protect our home, and to protect our property. So what is the problem here? Now, in the dog's world, Abraha was not a man just running from the law. He had become a direct threat to them, an enemy who had crossed into their domain. The thought of these animals facing euthanasia or being put down or a lifelong captivity has ignited outrage, and rightfully so. After all, if Mr. Abraha had not chosen to violate the sanctity of someone else's home, he wouldn't be dead. Oh well. If he had not forced his way into the home with criminal intent, those dogs would never had a reason to attack. They are not killers, they are protectors, and therefore they are innocent. Social media erupted with calls to save the dogs, and many point out Mr. Abraha's death, although grisly, was the result of his own reckless decisions.
Fox 5 first broke the story of the two dogs who authorities say mauled an intruder to a home here last Friday. The homeowner returned to the house on Walt Sanders Road and found the man dead on the front porch. Investigators say there was evidence that he had been inside the home when attacked. The dogs had been locked up inside when the homeowner had left.
One commenter aptly put, "He gambled with his life and lost. Not to the law, but to the justice of two fearless dogs." End of quote.
On social media across the country, many people expressed outrage that the dogs had been locked up at the animal shelter and their future seemed uncertain. Both Coweta County Animal Control and the Sheriff's Office says they were flooded with calls and emails expressing concern for the dogs.
As the world watches, these animals remain in legal limbo, victims of a system that sometimes struggles to understand the primal law of nature. Abraha, the intruder, he's dead and gone. But the two dogs who defended their home, those silent heroes, are left to face a future where their loyalty and bravery may not be enough to save them from a cruel fate of death, although they did nothing wrong. Now my question to you is, will justice be done for these dogs? Because in my opinion, you know I'm a dog lover, all right? I'll be the first to admit it, so I'm biased. But in my humble opinion, I think these dogs did a great, heroic act. They do not deserve to die. They do not deserve to be locked in an animal facility. They deserve a steak. They deserve a belly rub. And they deserve to be loved by their owner for being such loyal guardians of his property. All right? I know what the police seen when they got to that scene. They seen that bloody, tore up body, and they seen how damaged this man was, and they seen the savage attack that these dogs launched. And therefore, that's why they're not sure if these dogs should be returned to the owner, because in their mind, these are extremely violent, dangerous dogs. You know, the stigma that has always been attached to the Pitbull and the XL American Bully breed. Even when they do right, they are charged as if they done wrong. Even when they protect their house against some lawless intruder kicking in the front door, they're the ones that end up in jail and possibly might be euthanized. So you tell me, my YouTube family, is this right? Should these dogs be put down? Should these dogs be sentenced to stay in the animal lockup for anything that they did during the course of the story I just told you? Please drop it in the comments and let me know. Like I said, I'm biased, but there's no way these dogs should be locked up.
The dead man has been identified as 21-year-old Alex Abraha of Atlanta. How he got to the home, his motive for entering, remain a mystery. Doug Evans, Fox 5 News.
If you haven't checked me out, check me out. My website is BigGeminiKennels.com. We breed the best XL American bullies on the planet. If you want to see some of the best looking XL American bullies with the best temperaments and also great guardians,
Great family dogs. They will bond with your family and then protect it like no other. Check out BigGeminiKennels.com. And if you're looking for the best supplement to help your dogs develop and grow and reach their ultimate potential, if you want to help them with their health and immunity, if you want to help them with their growth and development, this supplement right here, a couple teaspoons, couple tablespoons, spread over their dog food. It's all organic, has more vitamins than any supplement I've seen. If you want to talk about probiotics, prebiotics, diatomaceous earth, all the amino acids, all the vitamins, sea moss, I don't want to keep going. This is the dog supplement for you, and I have a code right now, BGKMD10, for you to get 10% off of your order if it's ordered within the next week. Andre BGK, quality matters, and I'm out.